Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Aquarius Rising Africa. And I have with me today a very special guest. No, not April, Matt. I was looking on your screen there, Jay. It says April. That's Jay's wife. So no, that's not April sitting there. That's Jay. Very, very happy to have you with me, Jay. And just to give you a little bit of info on Jay, he is the co-founder, along with his wife April, of Gnostic TV, as well as they were with on Spiritually Raw. You guys have done amazing things in on your path in your career. They're manifestation experts. We're going to be talking about multidimensional existence, manifestation, what Gnostic TV is, what it's up to. I'm very excited to be joining the team soon. Actually, I have kind of already, but still behind the scenes. So, Jay, welcome. How are you?
Good. Thank you for having me in your world. This is nice. I appreciate it. I'm doing well. And you?
Yeah, I'm great, thank you. Well, yeah, welcome to my world too. And I'm very excited to hear about. I think maybe if we can start just sort of on your journey. You are now the co-founder along with April of Gnostic TV, which is such an inspirational, beautiful opportunity for so many people. But we're going to talk about that a little bit in a bit. I would just like to hear about who are you? Where did you come from? What is your journey? What brought you to this point where you and I met a couple of weeks
Well,
back?
yeah. So our creator, whoever by infinite design placed here and said, okay, go find your way. So I'm like, all right, so let me do this. My background is in financial services. So, in my earlier part of my career, I had an insurance company and a money lending company, and it did well, really well financially for us, but there was not a purpose there. There was no mysteries of life in that kind of world, right? So during that time, the internet was starting to come alive. So April and I had to figure out, okay, well, look, we have to learn to do business on the internet. And then there was always that exploration. Look, there's mysteries in life. What else is out there? What's the possibility? So this is where we went right from that to doing the show, Spiritually Raw. And since then, we've interviewed probably close to 3,000 people to really kind of get their insight of like, well, hey, how do you live? What have you been taught in this lifetime? What can you help us with? And it really became more of a personal journey, believe it or not, while we were trying to figure out, well, what are we going to do for a living? And it turned out that that's what we ended up doing for a living. But along the way, we
Wow.
were asking questions, and it just kind of organically took its own place. It was almost like it morphed or manifested into its own thing real time. So it was really pretty cool to watch. And it just, when you go through experiences like that, it just even makes you more of a believer of something, whatever something is to
Right.
some. That's their own thing. I never really choose to comment on that too much, but it's whatever their connection with. You realize, okay, well, something's there for me. Something's guiding me along the way. You know.
Right. Exactly. And I think we're such a diverse planet that so many things resonate with so many different people. And I think it's just wonderful to see. I love, I mean, I wouldn't say I've traveled extensively, but I've traveled quite a bit and I've lived abroad in Thailand and as an expat. So it's amazing to meet so many different people across the world, and you just realize how different everyone is, yet unique they are, and how the same we are actually. They're unique in their own way, but yet we all kind of really creatures from the same template, right?
We're wound
Yeah,
together in some infinite
yeah,
design. It's interesting
yeah.
looking.
I love that because it really, it gives each person such an interesting flavor, so to
Yeah.
speak, and that's what really makes the world such an amazing place. Wow. So, when did you guys actually start Gnostic TV? And what was the inspiration for that? What gave you the inspiration to do? Well, maybe you could also explain exactly what Gnostic TV is, right? And
Yeah.
what gave you the inspiration?
So Spiritually Raw was the initial foundation. That was our show, right? So me and April did Spiritually Raw, but throughout interviewing so many people, close to 3,000 now, we were able to look at Spiritually Raw, and it turned into a business of, for us, right? And so then a lot of people we would interview say, well, how do you turn this hobby into a business? How do you do that? And so the next thing you know, people started reaching out to us, and it turned into a very long-running consulting business, if you would. So we started the show back in 2010, and it only went for like probably not even 2 years, and then we took 7 years off of that because so many people were contacting us and saying, how do I turn this into something? And then we restarted it back in 2020, I think it was. But throughout that whole process, just to really help people, we understood that our knack is we're intuitive business strategists. We understand that, how to be able to bring forth, what's out there to apply it into this world we live in. So we felt like the best way for it to help us is to say, look, you know what, this whole concept of a network, why don't we just have people together that can share their content. There's a lot of messengers out there. We're not the only messenger. Everybody's got a different version about what gets them through the day. And I think it's really, if we can put it together, let's put it together and let people see what the different ways of living are. Because I don't know if we have an ultimate playbook and say this, do this, do this. You know what I mean? There's too many variations of it. So let's just have it there. So for us, it became a place of, and we call it Gnostic TV, Ancient Wisdoms Reimagined, because we want to honor what we've learned at this point, but we want to reinterpret it too. We need to learn how it is in 2024, where, we speak the language how we do now, not 2,000
Right.
years ago. We need to understand.
Ancient wisdom in modern day language. Yes.
Yeah, it really is like that. So that's been the inspiration. And then just really being connected with your soul tribe, your vibrational matches is just a beautiful experience. So
It is.
what Gnostic is about. I mean, Gnostic now has turned into a network of where we have over 40 different channels on there. There's events and conferences on there where people are doing their teachings. It's really a playground, and I think that's how we want to learn to live. Is like, look, let's live in a playground. Be yourself. Be completely free. What you have to say, what you want to say, because at some point you're going to connect with somebody. Somebody's going to get your message, and it's going to be the message that they needed to hear. So, and we don't know.
Exactly.
We don't know what it's going to be, but we want to cover all bases and say, let's bring on the different content creators. So that's Gnostic. That was been the vision behind that. It's been exciting. It's a true privilege. It really is. It's a true privilege to, get to meet people like you along the journey and just say, wow, you know what I mean? And figure out, what have you learned? And I don't know of a better way in my existence in life of how to create any value other than expose people to other people that can share
Right.
wisdom. Just don't know of a better way.
Absolutely. And we really are, I mean, okay, some people believe, others don't. I believe we've moving and have moved into the age of Aquarius, right? And it's really exactly, it fits the bill of what we're doing, just sort of connecting with each other, like a whole network marketing type thing, but not the way so many have done it. We're just connecting, and the internet is like, I would say it's the golden web of light, if you will, made manifest.
Yeah.
So, so we're able to sit here with each other, because as much mischief as what they can get up to with technology and stuff, so much amazingness at the same time, where I always say, it enables people like you and I to sit here and have these types of conversations, to share what we have to share. And I think that is really the beauty. And I think what you've done with the Gnostic as well, because just for the viewers who don't know, Gnostic is people really coming and starting their own channels there. It's uncensored. So we are able to talk about the things we want to talk about without the fear of being struck. It's wide. It's a wide audience. I mean, we're looking at about 1 million strong audience that you already have. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a pretty wide social media reach. It's all over the place. I mean, it's
Right.
gosh, it's a lot. It's a lot, and we just like I said, it's free for everybody because we want everybody to have access to that. You know what I mean? We do want everybody to have access to it so they could find out what's available for them. So it's it's going to be
So how do?
evergreen. We're going to be live soon. It's a lot going on with the network.
Well, maybe because I know I've put all links and stuff in the description area of the video, so please go and check it out there. But maybe you can tell our viewers what they'll be getting if they subscribe. How do they subscribe to Gnostic, and what will they be getting?
Well, simply click on the link in the description below there, and literally it'll take you to a page, and you simply click on join now. You just put in your email and watch over 1,000 shows on us. You don't have to put a credit card or anything in there. You simply point and click and watch all you want. Along the way, we're going to be having events and conferences that come in. So if you choose you want to have one of those, you'll get crazy discount codes on that for being a member of the site. So there's a lot going on there. There's going to be Gnostic University coming up now, which is where people are going to be doing specialized teachings. There's going to be Gnostic Marketplace. And that's going to be for those people that are always trying to find who is the right person that I need to help me in my journey. You know, who's my spiritual guide, who's got this. So, you know, it's a lot in there, but enjoy the site, enjoy the experience, watch it grow along, you know, with us. I mean, we'd appreciate your energy. We appreciate your love in it too. You know.
Absolutely. I mean, I must say I'm very excited to be joining you guys. And I'm definitely going to be having my first interview out one of these days. It was with actually the amazing Asia Rain. Our YouTube viewers do know her, but we go into lots of other stuff with her. So keep a watch out for that one as well, coming up shortly, just to give you a little bit of a little sneaky bite there. But talking about events and things, do you want to share with our viewers what event we have coming up shortly?
I tell you, we have, you know, survivors from the dark side. I mean, it's going to be amazing that you and Bryce have put this together. I mean, this is tales of survival for people who have went to the depths of hell and how they have come back. This is good because we all need to know this stuff, because nobody's immune to crisis. I mean, it's just different degrees, right, of crisis that we all have to experience. But these are people that, you know, again, have gone to the depths of hell, let's call it, and are coming back. They can show us how to live. That event's going to be coming out. Available for all of you probably at the end of August, if you would. So there'll be a pre-registration link in there where you get 50% off of that. The event in and of itself is $33, so you end up paying $16 for it. You know what I mean? And you get all of that information. You're right there. So I would definitely be jumping on that one. That's going to be super inspirational. I'm really, really grateful that you and Bryce had the insight to put that together, because it is very needed. You know what I mean? We don't always want to talk about, you know, we need to look very pragmatically at life. It's not all about the angels and the fairies and throwing dust on us and everything like that, and we skip through the fields. It's not all about that. There's a real life that people experience, and, you know, there's a real thing they've experienced. And again, you know, I personally, at a personal level, I believe it's that kind of experience that is what teaches us how to live. It teaches us how to grow. If we don't explore those experiences, that the darkest nights of the soul, if you want to, then we don't really understand how to really appreciate the lightest days either. You know, so, you know, just really put that in perspective, everybody, when you look at it. You know, so thank you for you and Bryce for putting that together and place it on there. We do appreciate that.
Yeah, we're going to be giving you guys more information on that shortly. But of course, you know, you guys watching this show are no stranger to what happens in SRA, satanic ritual abuse. So again, we've got some amazing speakers, some of our regulars coming to share more in-depth insight stuff. I don't want to talk too much now until we've confirmed and tied up a lot of things. But we're very much in the...
Completely uncensored.
Absolutely. So it's uncensored. We're going to have guys like Caleb, I'll give you, as well as... Well, I'll leave it there right now, who's also going to be talking there. So come and join us, come and support the conference. You know, what's so important, Jay, what I've realized over the past, I mean, I've been a healer for many years, but especially in the past few years, doing the SRA, Satanic Ritual Abuse Survivor interviews. The one thing that each and every one of these survivors need, you know, what's so important for them to hear is that people believe them. I believe you. I hear you. Because, you know, we understand as we delve more and more into the underbelly of the world, how deceptive that world is, how dark it is, how they've been threatened, how they've been tortured to keep quiet. The amount of demonic influence that is used is on... None of us can imagine that kind of stuff was going on. And as you say, these are truly the true heroes of the world, in my opinion. They've done that. They've literally been to hell, come out of that, and they are now whistleblowing and disclosing very, very dangerous for many of them, for most of them, in fact. Some of them have lost family members because they're talking. Some of them have been stalked, threatened, you know. It's crazy, but it's so good to know that we have, you know, more and more people are opening up and supporting the SRA survivors. So again, I know that, I know this is kind of like a new platform, if you will, on Gnostic TV to be talking about these topics as well, which really makes me super excited because I'm not a survivor. I'm very grateful and very happy for that. But when I saw what was going on, it was like,
Yeah,
no.
Yeah.
Something, let me get involved here, you know, and then created the platform for this to be exposed because, I mean, stuff that we have not even begun to imagine is happening in full force right in front of our eyes. All we have to do is learn to open our eyes and, you know, give us the knowledge of what's going on. These people have been in the arcane, they've been taken in there by their families even before they were out of the womb, you know. That's all they know, coming out and just sharing stories and awakening the rest of us. And it's super dangerous and it's super amazing to be able to learn every day. I love learning, you know, give me new information. And this for me is exactly what it's about, understanding, realizing, healing.
And then you're stepping up for other people, you know what I mean? You know, it takes a stronger person to step up for others. And, you know, you've done that so well, which is what's needed. And that's just the way showing these kind of things, right? Like we just need to help each other out. These people go through things. We all go through things. And if someone can help guide us, it's just going to make this existence, whatever we call it, you know, just a little bit better along the way, right?
Absolutely. Just people care. You know, human beings, we're so diverse. We could go either way. We're either amazing or we can be so atrocious, you know. But that's part of our diversity, you know. I mean, it sounds crazy, but it is. It is part of our diversity. And that's part of the vibration of free will and choice, which is what we're living. And it's insane to see what human beings can get up to on either way. You know, when someone's in trouble, I love to see how we all just gather up and help someone who's in need. And, you know, animals, you know, yeah, there's a lot of the other side of that as well. But it's a wonderful time to be alive. It's crazy. It's amazing. I mean, you're either very stupid or very crazy or very smart to be alive right now, right?
That's true. Sure.
Anyway. But Jay, another topic I want to talk to you about. So guys, before we carry on, just watch the space. I'll be giving you more information as we go along as to the shows, who's going to be participating. And yeah, just keep your eyes peeled and we'll let you know. So Jay, you're a manifestation expert as well. And I love that because, you know, it's really what we're here to be doing. We are such masterful creators and we're actually manifesting. And I know some religious people will say, oh, well, that's the devil's work. It's not the devil. We're manifesting every moment of every day as it is, right? We're unconscious mostly of what we're manifesting as it is. So when we realize the power of our thoughts, energy, emotions, deeds, actions, perceptions, we realize we can recreate an entire existence for ourselves. I'd love to hear what you have to say about manifestation.
Manifestation is critical in our lives. And like you said, we're doing it a lot of times, not even aware that we're doing it. And manifestation can go both ways. It can give you everything that you've been dreaming of, and it can give you the worst of days because of how you think, right? Because what happens is manifestation is it comes from the way I've experienced it, okay? And I share with that because I want to let people know that. But it comes from what the subconscious mind believes. Okay, so if the subconscious mind believes it enough, it's going to appear. So for example, if you had that and you're like, oh my God, I got that, and I feel like this, I feel this, you're going to get that. And you're like, I did get that. You manifested it because you internalized that into your subconscious mind. Similarly, if you want the greatest health in the world, the greatest wealth in the world, the greatest spiritual connection in the world, you know, this is where we really want to help people along the way as they go through the manifesting journey. It's not just sitting there reading a book and saying, well, if I chant this 108 times, it's going to come true. If I rub these things a couple of times, it's going to come true. You have got to internalize this stuff. I mean, you're whatever you're looking for, your manifestation, your subconscious mind has got to be connected with it at a level where you internalize it to such a degree that it's almost like you're almost in shock of why you don't have it. You see what I mean? Like you're like,
Exactly.
what I mean? But if you're like simply sitting there putting well, you know, if I put something on a vision board, or I stare at it long enough, or if I sit in meditation long enough, or maybe the full moon's coming along after 100 years, this is my time to get everything I ever wanted. Listen, I wish those things too, but let's be pragmatic. We live in this world called the 3D, and you know, we're bound by these rules. When you go to manifest, so if the thought comes in and the thought feels good and it says, okay, this is good, I like the way this thought's coming through, I feel it, then you start to take action. Manifestation without action is meaningless. It's just a thought.
Right.
All it is. And a lot of people are still in that phase of like, well, you know, if you think about it long enough, if you just think about it long enough, and if you stay in a high vibration long enough, it will appear. You know what? Maybe in rare cases it may have appeared, but for the most part, it's not going to appear. You have to be prepared for it. I mean, I even say, look, I said, you know what? The definition of luck is when preparation and opportunity meet. I'm a big believer that we always have opportunities all day long. Question is, are we really prepared? So when those two marry, that's your luck, that's your manifestation. So, you know, that's how we've been able to do it. We've been able to really break it down to we spend our life doing this. Our existence is learning ways to manifest, to be able to share that with people, and to really have them have a better life, whether that be health for themselves, a better spiritual experience, a better more money in their bank account, whatever that is for them, right? But a lot of it is being true to themselves too. You know, it's just you know, there's still a lot, and you know, especially I feel a lot of this in spiritual or faith-based communities. There's a lot of guilt that comes along with asking for things or feeling like you want things. And I don't know where that guilt comes from, but I'd say at some point in time, send it back to hell because it doesn't belong in you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Get it.
exactly.
Yeah, get what you want. This is your world. You're here, and we don't ultimately know why the hell we're here. We know we're here, and we got each other to help us out. But let's make the best of it. Let's be good and cool to each other and live well and teach others how to live well. And that's it. Anybody that says, well, you should be doing this or this is not right or this not there, they don't know. How the hell did they know? You know what I mean? We don't know.
Exactly.
We're just interpreting.
You know, it's so because it's exactly what you're saying. You know, people oftentimes project their own experiences or reality or truth onto others, and that's where obviously the judgment comes in. So it's so true what you say. I mean, you've got nothing to do with anyone else and what they're doing in their life. Obviously, if they hurting your child or hurting you, whatever, you have every right to take action to defend yourself for sure. But at the end of the day, you know, as you say, internalized. We have to change our inner frequency. If we're not liking what we're manifesting or attracting into our lives, it's up to us to change our own internal frequency that raises our vibration, that attracts something on a higher level. So you know what I've discovered about that is that it's such a beautiful learning curve, because I see God in everything. I really do. You know, I'll use an extreme example. When a number of years ago, my partner was killed in a hijacking. And in that moment, as hectic as what it was, I said, thank you, God. Show me what I need to see. Show me what I need to learn through this. And I'll tell you something, looking back, it's because of that I do the work I do today. It's because of that I have the understanding of life that I do today. Because I chose not to see myself as a victim. I chose to see myself as a learner and someone that's transcending, because the opposite of loss is gain. And it's not about material gain. It was about spiritual gain for me. And it's been the most incredible experience. That loss has turned into an amazing gain over and over and over and over, and things that money can never, ever, ever buy, or that a university can never, ever, ever, ever teach me. And I think if we see the opportunity in everything, then we alchemize that, and that's when we let go of the guilt, because I think we've been so indoctrinated with guilt, right, by the churches, especially churches. You know, spiritual people are not rich. You have got to be poor and working so hard for God, you know. It's such a lie, Jay.
100% it's a lie. And you know what? And again, you know, with my look, the spiritual community, the religious community, it's almost like Democrats and Republicans. It's just a different name. They're saying the same stuff. I mean, don't prosper too much. Oh, you know, I'm not worthy about it. God will only provide what I need. You know, you shouldn't ask. You're not worthy. I need to gift this to people. Everybody needs this. Nobody has enough money to pay me. All that stuff. Like, oh my God, it's disgusting. Number one, stop it, and you have to learn to live, because then I will say to you, if people, and I tell people, you know, I mean, I've interviewed a lot of people, and then I hear this from them. I'm like, you know, they come on, they have these businesses, and I'm like, they're complaining, and they're very gifted. They're complaining that, well, I don't have enough clients, I have no money. I'm like, because you're telling everybody you're free. You're telling everybody that, you know, they don't have to pay you. You're telling everybody this is your gift, and you have to justify that. See, that's the other thing we've learned with this, is that if you really want to create value in this world, you know, like, I'll give you an example. If you see a lot of people that don't want to eat, or can't afford to eat, and you want to set up a food place for them, you have to be able to buy the food. Someone's got to
Right.
pay for it. We live in these world. We didn't make these rules, everybody, you know. So if you want to do that, if you want to help people, you can't give from an empty cup. You know what I mean? You just can't give from an empty cup. You just can't. It's not
So
practical.
true.
It's not part of the existence we live in, third dimensional. You know, look, it's like anything. You can overeat, you can overdrink, you can overuse your money for wrong things. I mean, but if you put it all in perspective and realize these things are very good, they're very useful for you,
Balance.
perspective, and you balance it out, you do good things with it. You're entitled to it. You're entitled to everything, though. And anybody, I think, that tells, you know, people that they're not entitled to it, oh, you'll never make it at that. You know what I mean? You won't do good at that. No, somebody,
Yeah.
you know, imagine that. I mean, you know, a lot of people hear about that. They have a dream, and then they're asking people who are not aligned with that dream what their opinion is of these dreams, as if these people are the expert. I'm like, you know, listen, you got to realize at some point that might be a disconnect in your manifestation formula.
Because you externalizing your power. You're looking outside of yourself for the answers,
Yep.
and really, you know, and oftentimes the people, in fact, not oftentimes, I'm going to say all the time, especially those naysayers, are the ones that simply reflect your own doubt and your own fears. So, you know, deep within, we have our own doubts and fears. And I think if we can realize, okay, well, that's the mirror that person is holding up for me, then I can say, screw that, Jack. You know, I'm transcending that fear. I'm moving towards it anyway, you know, and you break through that fear. And I think that's such a beautiful thing to be able to do.
Have to. I mean, like, if you want something in the life, you don't go to somebody, regardless of who they are, who has not accomplished what you're looking for. So if you want to create massive
Right.
wealth, don't go to somebody who is broke. Go to somebody who has obtained massive wealth and ask them, how did you do it? If you want to obtain incredible health, don't go to someone who's sick and say, hey, should I be taking this? They don't know they're sick. Go to go to somebody I'm serious. Go to somebody
Exactly.
who's healthy and say that. You may not know them,
Right.
but I'll tell you, these people, there is enough people out in the world right now who have what you want, that would be so gracious and would love to talk to you, because that's how they continue to fuel their fire in existence. You know what
Yes,
I mean? Do
I
they?
agree.
It's like you're feeding their soul and then giving them a purpose to say, oh, I am on the right track. I'm helping somebody. People want to help people. You know, we shouldn't think the worst of people. People do bad things, of course, but not everybody, as a blanket rule, does. You know, you'll find them, you'll find your vibrational match. Just learn who to talk to in this journey. It's pretty pragmatic. It's really sensible. It's not so much you know, we've been able to be blessed with some great things in our lives, and but we know we're, you know, again, you know, we cut out who we're not supposed to vibrate with, and we vibrate who we're supposed to vibrate, and we talk to the people we need.
Exactly.
It's very, very, very pragmatic is really how we have to look at life.
It's very true. Wow. And it's so true what you're saying, We created from sound, frequency, and vibration. So, when you match people and they match you, that's a beautiful time. And then you can start co-creating, and really without the cheating, lying, dodginess that we have when we're not in that space. I think that's part of self-mastery. And I think self-mastery's got nothing to do with levitating or walking on water. Self-mastery is about having the ability in a chaotic world and a traumatic time or whatever it is, right? Treacherous time, the ability to stand still and allow yourself to be surrounded with that which is good and peaceful. And in that chaotic time, you can find your stillness and make your decisions and transcend that chaos below, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. And then, you have to come to terms with it. I mean, I think inherently we're all, for the most part, everybody comes into this lifetime with good intent. We want to help people, right? But, you have to ask yourself, is it really your job to save the world? Is it your job to really bear all of the world's burdens? Is it your job to bear all of the world's financial problems? Is everybody broke your mantra? You know what I mean? Seriously, the other people's problems don't have to define you. And that's the thing. When it's people that want something, and I'm saying this because when we talk to people who are trying to manifest, these are the kind of thought process that come out of their mind. Listen, I want to save the world. The world's struggling. I'm like, well, do you know that how? How do you know? Maybe is it your world that's struggling? You know what I mean? Do you want to maybe shift your world? Maybe find a new world. That possibility exists here.
It's so true, and maybe your world is troubled. So let's look in, right? So that's amazing. Yeah, I love that. Wow. It's very cool. And I think when we start learning that everything that surrounds us is our creation and our attraction. And then we start, I think gratitude is it's the key to manifestation. No matter what has happened, to be grateful. I look at that situation in my life and I'm so grateful for that being the massive turning point. That was my turning point. And as painful as what it was, it's been such a blessing and such a gift. It's helped me grow and expand in so many areas that nothing else ever could. That's why I say no university can ever teach you some of these things. It's life experience, and it's how we change and grow and evolve and heal, most importantly, through these experiences, which really defines who we are at the end of the day.
And you're right. You said earlier, you see God in everything, and that's not just a nice thing to say about people. That's a real thing, because if you look at it, we're all guilty of it. We all have dark sides, right? And we got to balance it out. We got to figure it out. But if you are really cause and effect, you know what I mean? So if you're harmful or say not nice things to somebody, you're gonna a lot of times see
that's
gonna happen. Instant karma, let's call it whatever you want to say, but because I believe you, I'm the same way. I do see it, and I feel like if we are, if we are negative towards somebody, we're shattering the image of what's already us anyway. It's just another part of it, and that's where
a projection. Yeah, the very thing I'm not liking in you is what I need to heal inside of me. It's that simple.
It's pretty much. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's immune. You got to learn to forgive yourself, let go of the guilt, and just learn. Be cool to people, you know what I mean? And do the best you can, but do the best for yourself first so you can be the best for others.
Yes. So that you have that fuel to be able to share. Absolutely. Yeah. It's like a car running on empty trying to give another one gas.
Exactly.
You can't. Yeah. Oh, wow. So let's talk a little bit. I know we're kind of getting on in time, but it doesn't, I'd love to hear what you say about multidimensional existence. I think we know it exists anyway. We are living in a multidimensional existence, but most of us still need to wake up to that reality, is what I say.
Well, so test out these theories, everybody, because and look at it as a game. This is what I've done. I've tested out the theories. I've looked at it as a game. I said, you know what the hell? Nobody's dropped down and said, okay, here's who I am. I'll fix your problems. They've just given you speculation and theory. So run with the theories that you're most attracted to. So and try them out. So for example, for me, I believe there is there's a multiple versions of J, for example. I believe there's a very, very abundant J out there. I believe there's a very healthy J out there. There's a completely spiritual J. So if I'm lacking in this particular version of me, any one of those areas, I'm going, okay, all right, wealthy J, come on over here, buddy. We got to talk. Help me figure this shit out. You know what I mean? And let's talk through it. And then I'm starting to notice when I talk to it, whatever that is at that particular level, I feel something. I notice something measurable. You know what I mean? So if I want to feel like, I'm not my healthiest today, all right, healthy buddy, come on over here. You know, what's going on over here? How do we fix this thing? And I feel like I get answers right away. So call it higher self, call it multiple self. I still believe that, you know, there are other parts of me, there's different versions. And I believe we you know, there's a convergence, but I think the convergence comes in and out. I don't believe it's this is again my personal view of this. Everybody's got their own speculation, so I can't say this is the way. My personal experiences, I believe these fractals of you come in when you need them, and then they go back to wherever they're at, and then maybe they call upon me. Maybe sometimes they say, "Hey, this Jay, come on over to this land and help us figure something out." And maybe that's why we feel things like deja vu, or we have these very unique experiences, or we feel like, "Oh my God, what was that about?" You know what I mean? Maybe we are getting pulled. Maybe we're pulling from one place. Maybe someone's pulling us from the other place. But if you treat it like a video game and you treat it like that, and I've been able to reconcile it for me personally to that kind of breakdown, because it entertains me. It allows me not to take it all so seriously, is the biggest thing.
I actually love the way that you explain that, because it's so true. We have so many different facets to our character, and I'm not talking about splits or multiple personalities. That is a different thing. Just to make that very clear. And I say that, Jay, because on a lot of a lot of our SRA survivors have been fractal. They've been split. Obviously, which is the opposite of this, because obviously the Luciferians are going to invert everything and they just corrupt it. So the fact that because we are multidimensional and because we come from one complete overbody soul, so to speak, right? We have that which is perfect and complete within us. But it's like, let's say I began here and I need to end up there to reach perfection. And I know it doesn't happen like that, please. I'm just using it for layman's terms. I've got to start here to get there, right? So this is part of that journey, getting to know that I am capable of making money. So that that aspect of me that knows that, call forth and get mentorship from that, whether it's through meditation or call it forth in a dream or something. You are now learning how to control your own energy force, which is beautiful because no one else is controlling it. You're not imposing on someone else's energy field. You are really learning how to use and control and project your own energy field in the most positive way. I love that, actually. It makes a lot of sense, yeah.
For me, it does. And like I said, it allows me the space not to take it all so seriously, because I don't know what to take seriously, what to not. I can't look, at the end of the day, we're all going to face the same scenario, the circle of life, right? It is what it is.
Yeah.
And I'm not looking at that as doom and go, oh my God, like this. I'm just saying, okay, whatever. I'm here. Let's enjoy the hell out of it. And that's it.
Yeah.
So
Have fun.
everybody crosses that finish line, whatever that finish line is. We all know that. So everybody gets it to the end of the race, let's call it. But what happens there? Is the possibility exist? No, how we experience it here and how we appreciate it here and how we live through it here? Does that possibility exist that helps us get to a different elevation than the next race, let's call it? I don't know, but I'm not taking anything for chance either. I'm not going to live miserable. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Live right?
I love that, Jay. I really love that. When Our attitude really is our altitude. I don't know. I remember that from someone called John Maxwell many years ago. Your attitude is your altitude. And if I've forgotten everything else he said, I remember that. And because I do believe, when we move into something with a positive, and we're not talking toxic positivity. We're talking with a positive energy. I feel confident. I've done my homework. I'm not sure how to go, where to go. Not 100% sure if this is where I need to be, but hey, I'm trusting the process that's going to unfold in front of me. And you go and you take those steps and you do what is necessary to unfold. And then you're going to go, no, not quite what I thought. So I'm going in a different direction. Yes, that's where I need to be. But we're not going to get there by someone else getting there, following someone else's path, dragging along on their coattails. You might think that's fun, but it's not. It's so beautiful and so amazing and so liberating when you start seeing things for yourself through your own actions and your own decisions, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And when you start to do that, you'll start to see everything in a different light. I mean, remember, you're never going to control anything that happens in your life, but what you can control is how you react to it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
When you learn to react to it in a way of, look, again, everybody's going to have crises in their life. Nobody's immune to it. And I'm not saying to minimize that or what people go through, but what I am saying is that, at some point in time to move to another level, we're going to have to take a breath and realize, what can help this get better? Is it going to be just focusing on it and staring at the problem, or just, brushing the problem away and moving forward and identifying a new opportunity from it? So, I mean, listen, it's a lesson that's not always the easiest one, but it's a lesson that needs to continue to be had,
I so agree with you. I really, really do. Wow. Jay, it's been so awesome chatting with you. I want to say thank you so much. It's really, really been cool. And I so look forward to my journey with you on Gnostic TV in the future. I think we're going
It's very
to do
nice
some cool.
in this lifetime.
Yeah, indeed. Reconnecting we are. And we all agreed to be here at this time, didn't we?
That's
Which
right.
is wonderful. Yeah, it's so fun. It's so fun. I don't even need an aeroplane yet. We've now got stuff like this. Soon I'm going to learn to teleport. I'm learning how to teleport. I'm not getting on that stinky airplane anymore.
You should do it. I'm learning telepathic, and that's what I'm having a good time with. I'm working on it, and my animals teach me. Yeah.
Yeah, they're amazing. I know animals are incredible. They are so cool. But that's a whole that whole animal communication thing's a whole story for another day. We'll get there. We'll get through it all. Okay, Jay. Thank you so much for joining me.
I'll see you next time.
Yeah, indeed. And everybody, thank you so much for joining us here on Aquarius Rising Africa. And I think I'm on Solutions as well today. And I'm very glad that I got to, look, April, Jay Matta from Gnostic TV. And I so look forward to having our future, you guys joining us there with some very cool stuff. But watch the space. We'll keep you posted. Okay, guys. God bless you all. Take good care of yourselves. Cherry vibes.